Rigetti stock is up 18% today to new highs at $35.41. This is a new level for Rigetti we have never seen before, and our long-term positions are looking pretty awesome over in the Schwab portfolio. Today here we also have a shorter-term play that's up 239% on Rigetti, and then we have some others that are up more than that in Schwab. The recent move is a parabolic trend. I mean, hyper bullish trend that we see it get up into new highs we've never seen before. It's almost straight up with little to no slowing down. Now, I personally, short-term trades would not enter anything. In fact, it was just right around here towards the end of September that I entered a smaller short position, actually shorting some of Rigetti, just because I was expecting Rigetti to sell off down, which it did sell down to 28 from 31, and that I wanted to hedge a little bit, and I kind of messed up because honestly, like we've made more than our position still went positive in this recent uptick for the most part, but we missed out on some gains by trying to essentially hedge against the downside here on Rigetti, which I'm fine with. But oh my gosh, wow, a mistake though. Nevertheless, it's a mistake. And the more you fail, the more you learn, the better you grow. And I'm happy to share with you guys those mistakes. But hey, Rigetti RGTX is up 36%. QBTX is up 30% today. IONX is up 17%. Our portfolio is hovering green today, but we do have some levels to watch with Rigetti. What's going on with the quantum market? Well, you see $35 a share here. This is new all-time highs. There's no technical analysis I could give you other than this trend that we're seeing, this uptrend, where maybe it continues parabolically more up to, I don't know, $40 a share. But hey, as we're here, this rising support level, next kind of level of resistance that would potentially act as a support in a pull down on RGTI would most likely be up here around $32. Now, when we started covering Rigetti stock, we've been covering it for a while. As you can tell, there's quite a lot of drawings. But when we look at when we started covering it here, $1 a share is when we started covering it. So around $1 a share in October. I don't even know if it was $1 at that time. We've watched it rise as high as $21 and sell off with that Jensen announcement about how quantum computing is 15, 30 years away. And right now, we're seeing a government shutdown and a rally continue in the quantum market. Now, if this government shutdown goes for an extended period of time, this could potentially impact some of the quantum and defense markets because of that movement. But when we're looking at why Rigetti is moving or why IONQ is moving here, their quantum technology with their quantum computer is something they're working on and deploying with partners like NASA, MIT, AWS, Microsoft. Rigetti is already over at Microsoft in the cloud here as a provider. You can see that here with their Anka 384 qubit gates, 36 qubits there as well. Not gates, 84 qubits. And then financials, the financials on Rigetti, they're at $11 billion market cap. Hype is at an all-time high. So you're going to see a lot of hype here. However, revenue is still only $1 million or so per quarter. They're down on the revenue. The net income's been negative, but the runway continues to increase as their total assets have been rising to 600 million. Still doesn't justify necessarily the $11.5 billion market cap. And while we see the heavier investment in quantum kick in right now, and institutions, if we really look at where the institutions are at, you got more institutions, 242 increased positions, holders of institutions, including Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Morgan Stanley, all of the top names piling in to Rigetti. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Institutional ownership starts to increase here, 38%. That poses more risk for manipulation. When you see the stock go straight up okay, the way that it has, even though we could see the drawings, say, okay, this is kind of a trend that's kicking in. Maybe it's just going to pull back here. Be ready. Near-term volatility, like always, could kick in. The long-term holders, guys, we're very happy today. It's a great day to be in the quantum market. And the same thing could be true over on IONQ, over on QBTS. But the really interesting thing is that you would look at some of the bills that are on the docket. Like, for example, we look at IONQ, they're partnered with Air Force Research Laboratory. They're partnered with government-funded research facilities. They're partnered there with DARPA. They do have NVIDIA. They got, Microsoft, Amazon, and what have you. But this is a bill that's out there. And you say, okay, $2.7 billion to quantum. That's going to spike things up. You got some things going on in the quantum market that would make sense that if this legislation gets passed. But then you have government slowdown recently here. And then outside of the government slowdown, what do you have? You have a government shutdown that you got to look at. Now, when the government shutdown hits, we love to use this, so we can actually pull up Rigetti. Let's do RGTI. What should we use? Let's go with Grok. I like Grok today. RGTI, and we'll pull up some analysis. So right now, this Grok model, one of the best AIs in the world, is getting the press releases, the real-time data. It's getting the insider trading. It's getting the institutional holdings, all of the data that it otherwise would not be sourced with. But we establish those partnerships. We go get that data, and we're bringing it into the model right now. It's doing the work, and it's going to get us some projections. Now, while that's loading up, we recently incorporated even more data that's not considered by the models right now, which is government shutdown data. Have you guys seen this? So we have government shutdown data that we recently added into Mercatus here. So a couple reasons why this is really important to watch. In history, most of the time during government shutdowns, we've actually seen a positive increase. So with government shutdown, market impact seeing positive returns and prediction of it about 15%. The shutdown probability, you look at the confidence here, and then you have, for example, the shutdown risk here, it's active. There's $400 million lost in daily compensation. However, what do we know about history? We can look at the overview that by the analysis, the short-term impact, only a couple percentage points, medium-term impact, 12 months after the shutdowns, oftentimes we see over 12% returns with an 86% of instances higher. Market tends to recover quickly and follow broader macro trends. So, this is really important because defense contractors, quantum computing, all these markets might actually see increases like they historically have during government shutdowns. So when we look at this, what are some of the projections here for RGTI? We actually have projections here over the next week. It's projecting to get up to 36 bucks a share. You could see here the projections according to Grok, we're actually seeing this upward trajectory here with Rigetti, even though the financials aren't lining up, even though the balance sheet is good, but not good enough for a $10 billion, $11 billion valuation. What is happening here? This is quantum computing. People buying the future of computing power and betting that it's going to primarily power or be a catalyst for the scale of AI compute and computing AI in the future. So that's why we see, Rigetti have the run that it's had. And that's why the projections still seem to be in the bullish sentiment. Now, when we're looking at Rigetti right now with their quantum computers, we've still kind of failed to see the deployments kick in from a perspective of commercialization. Because while the news is they just announced 2 days ago that Rigetti had purchase orders for 2 quantum systems totaling approximately 5 million. About 15 days before that, they were awarded a $5.8 million contract with Air Force Research Laboratory. Now, these are 5 million here, 5 million there, totaling over 10 million, but that's still just a fraction of the total market cap we've seen these quantum companies go up by recently. I mean, we're talking about billions in scale per day that they're seeing increase in their market cap. So while the news looks good and the chart, it looks parabolic, that's another thing to consider, the chart parabolic. We see it up here. I can't tell you guys. I don't know if it's going to continue up, continue down. A bearish target, though, if we're looking at potential corrections in the near term, would be down to this $33 range. That's the nearest resistance. And oftentimes, the nearest resistance will act as a support in bullish markets. So again, you could see that as fact. Previous resistance will almost always act as a support as it's kind of stair-stepping its way up. There's a resistance acted as a support. It oftentimes plays out that way. And so we could see them pull back to this level in the bearish target. And then the bullish target, let's say that they don't pull back to that $32 price point, but they continue up even further. We're looking at, getting up into that resistance of this parabolic trend they're in, which would be, what is that, $38 a share for Rigetti. So it's an exciting day. It's an awesome time to be looking at quantum computing technology. And congratulations to ourselves, everybody here on the channel, and all the investors that are in Stockmate. In Stockmate, we daily live trade every single morning. You can see that the top industries, I haven't changed this for 8 months, of the top markets we follow: AI, quantum computing, tech, and space exploration. For entrepreneurs, traders, and investors, we got 27 individuals with a net worth of over $1 million. And our next live trading is happening in 16 hours. If you want to get our daily market updates, there's some great insights, some great investors. A lot of times, the best insights come from people here in the Stockmate community, including our targets for the upcoming week, which companies are reporting earnings, all that good stuff is available inside of Stockmate, along with some learning materials for technical and fundamental analysis if you'd like to invest in the most cutting edge markets here in the world. So I will send you a free t-shirt if you want to grab it. It's the second link in the description below. And I would love to see you there tomorrow at Market Open. Hopefully I earned your thumbs up. Do consider subscribing and commenting your thoughts on quantum below. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.